All right, so picture this. You're out on a luxury yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Sun is shining. The water is crystal clear. And all of a sudden, you need to send a super important email. Or maybe even hop on a Zoom call for work.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's the exact situation that Starlink Maritime is trying to solve.
Yeah.
They promise crazy fast internet even when you're miles from shore. But is it actually all smooth sailing, or are there some rough waters ahead?
Good question.
That's exactly what we're diving into today, with help from the experts at Marine Data Solutions.
Right.
They're the ones outfitting these boats with this new tech called helping clients figure out the whole new world of connectivity.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic because Starlink itself uses those low Earth orbit satellites, which is a huge improvement over the old school satellite internet that was so slow.
Right.
But the open ocean that presents a totally unique set of challenges.
Okay, so it's not as simple as just slapping a Starlink dish on a yacht and calling it a day.
Yeah.
What makes the high-performance maritime version so special?
Well, one of the big differences is the wider viewing angle you get with the maritime antenna. So imagine you're in the middle of an important video conference and the yacht is rocking back and forth. Suddenly, the connection drops out because the antenna can't see the satellite anymore. This wider angle helps to prevent that from happening, so you get a more stable connection even in rough seas.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, it's built to handle crazy high temperatures, so you won't see a performance drop, whether you're cruising the Caribbean or exploring the tropics.
Oh, wow. So you're telling me no more dropped calls or frozen screens just as you're about to close that big deal or win that online game? That's music to my ears.
Exactly.
But let's talk about bandwidth for a second. On a yacht, you probably have multiple people all trying to do different things at the same time. You've got streaming, downloading, people working, all happening at once. How does Starlink handle that kind of heavy internet traffic?
That's where Marine Data Solutions comes in with their MDS blender. It's a pretty awesome system that combines multiple Starlink antennas. And get this, it can even integrate 5G cellular data when it's available.
Oh, wow. So you're taking advantage of every possible connection.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it like having multiple lanes on a highway for your internet traffic. That way you get a smooth and steady flow of data no matter how many devices are connected.
So hold on. Are you saying I can actually get speeds like fiber optic internet on a yacht in the middle of the ocean?
You got it.
That's pretty impressive. But let's get real for a second. What problems does this actually solve? Because for some yacht owners, the old way of doing things might seem good enough.
Sure.
Why should they make the switch?
Well, you're right. A lot of people have just gotten used to those little connectivity issues here and there. But on a luxury yacht where every detail is supposed to be perfect, those dropped calls and slow internet speeds stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Marine Data Solutions has highlighted some key pain points that Starlink Maritime addresses. Remote desktop connections suddenly dropping? Gone. Lag ruining your online gaming session? That's over. Slow downloads driving you crazy? Fixed.
Wow, so they've thought of everything.
They even tackle those frustrating dropped video calls and the annoyance of getting logged out of secure websites because the connection keeps blinking out.
So it's really about having that peace of mind, knowing you can rely on your internet connection no matter where you are. It's like having your own personal high-speed internet bubble following you around the world.
Exactly.
But I'm curious about the actual installation process. Is this something you could do yourself, or do you need expert help?
This is where partnering with an authorized provider like Marine Data Solutions is absolutely crucial. They have the experience and expertise to install and configure the system properly. They understand all the little details, like making sure the antennas have a clear view of the sky, dealing with potential interference, and making sure everything works with the yacht's existing systems.
Okay, so it's not just plug and play. There's a lot more to it than that.
Right.
And speaking of expertise, I noticed that Marine Data Solutions offers extended warranties. That seems pretty important for this type of technology, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. You're not going to be able to call your local cable company if the internet goes down in the middle of the Pacific. With an extended warranty from a provider like Marine Data Solutions, you get that peace of mind knowing they've got your back if anything goes wrong. They're there to provide ongoing support and maintenance so you can be sure your connection stays strong no matter what.
Okay, so we've talked about the hardware, the software, the installation process, and the importance of ongoing support. It's clear that this is a premium product and service, but I'm wondering, who is this really for? Is it just for the mega yacht crowd, or can regular boat owners benefit from this technology too?
That's a great question. And, while Starlink Maritime is definitely a high-end product, It's becoming more and more accessible to a wider range of boat owners these days. We're seeing it installed on smaller yachts, fishing vessels, research expeditions. Even some cruise lines are starting to offer it as an amenity for their passengers.
It makes sense because in today's world, staying connected isn't really a luxury anymore. It's pretty much a necessity. Whether you're running a business, keeping in touch with loved ones, or just sharing your experiences on social media, having a reliable internet connection is essential.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting is that the price of Starlink Maritime has actually come down quite a bit since it first launched. So it's becoming a more realistic option for people who might not have even considered it before.
Exactly.
So it seems like this technology is starting to trickle down from the super yacht world to the everyday boater. It's kind of like what happened with cell phones back in the day. What was once a luxury item is now something that almost everyone has. And with all the advancements happening in satellite technology and the expansion of 5G coverage, who knows what the future holds?
It's definitely an exciting time to be following this technology. The possibilities seem endless. It's amazing to see how it's connecting people and businesses in ways we never even thought possible.
You know what? I'm kind of feeling like I need to upgrade my own boat's internet package now.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. We've talked about the practical benefits of Starlink Maritime. But what about the wider impact of this kind of always-on high-performance connectivity?
Yeah.
What does it mean for the way we work, the way we live, even the way we explore the world?
That is the million-dollar question, and one that we're going to delve into much deeper in the next part of our deep dive. Because Starlink Maritime isn't just about faster downloads and smoother video calls. It's about changing the way we think about the possibilities in a world where location is no longer a barrier to staying connected.
That's a great point and a perfect place to leave it for now. So stay tuned as we continue our exploration of Starlink Maritime and its impact on the future of connectivity. Just kidding, we're diving straight into the next part of our deep dive. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and get ready to explore the fascinating world of Starlink Maritime and what it all means for you.
Sounds good. You know, we always talk about the what of new technology, but the so what is just as important.
Yeah, that's a good point.
With Starlink Maritime, it's not just about, oh, you get faster downloads on your yacht. It's about how that level of connectivity can change how we approach so many things, like remote work, leisure, how we think about exploration.
It really is amazing to think that just a few years ago, having a clear video call from the middle of the ocean was like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming pretty normal. What kind of possibilities does that open up?
Well, for one, it makes that whole dream of working from anywhere a reality. Imagine running your company or even attending a big conference from your yacht. A cabin in the woods, a sailboat going around the world. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It really does challenge those old ideas about where and how we work. And it's not just about individual freedom either. It could change how companies find and hire people.
For sure. I can see a future where a Silicon Valley startup has its whole engineering team working from a cruise ship. They're traveling the world while they write code.
Okay, now that's a work perk I could definitely get behind. But let's not forget about the more serious side of things. What about the impact on scientific research?
Oh, yeah. Think about marine biologists being able to live stream their underwater explorations in real time. They could share data and their findings with colleagues all over the world instantly.
That's incredible.
Or archaeologists doing excavations in a remote jungle. They could upload high-resolution scans and 3D models as they make new discoveries.
It's mind-blowing to think about the potential advancements in research and discovery that this could lead to. But of course, with any new technology, there are potential downsides too. What are some of the challenges we might face as Starlink Maritime becomes more widespread?
One concern is the digital divide. We talked about how expensive this technology is, so it's not going to be accessible to everyone right away. We could end up with a situation where only the wealthy have this incredible connectivity, and that could make existing inequalities even worse.
Yeah, that's a really important point.
Mm.
We also need to think about infrastructure. I mean, Starlink needs a clear view of the sky. What happens in cities with lots of tall buildings or in areas with difficult terrain?
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of cybersecurity. With more devices connected, especially in remote locations, we need to be super careful about protecting sensitive data and making sure the network is secure.
These are all really important questions, and it shows how important it is to approach this technology in a thoughtful and ethical way. It's not enough to just celebrate the innovation. We need to think about the potential consequences and figure out how to deal with them.
Absolutely. It's a conversation that we need to have as a society. As this technology evolves, we need to make smart choices about how we develop it, who benefits from it, and what safeguards we put in place.
It's about making sure the future of connectivity benefits everyone, not just a select few. But let's not forget about the fun side of things. Imagine streaming your favorite shows or playing online games without any lag while you're cruising the Bahamas.
You're right. It's easy to get caught up in the serious stuff, but we shouldn't forget about how technology can make our lives more enjoyable.
So what do you think the future holds for Starlink Maritime and technologies like it? Do you think that's always-on high-performance connectivity will become the standard?
I think it's definitely heading in that direction. The demand for reliable internet is only going to grow, and companies like SpaceX are constantly pushing the limits of what's possible.
And as the technology keeps getting better and more affordable, we'll probably see it used in more and more industries beyond just leisure and exploration. We could see it completely change things like transportation, logistics, healthcare, even education.
The possibilities are really endless, and it's exciting to imagine how this technology will shape the world around us.
Speaking of shaping the world, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the impact Starlink Maritime is already having in the real world. It's not just a futuristic idea, it's something that people are using right now in ways that are both practical and inspiring.
Yeah, one of the most interesting developments is the rise of remote telemedicine. Imagine a doctor being able to consult with a patient who's on a boat in the middle of the ocean. They could provide real-time medical advice and even do virtual examinations.
Wow, that could be a lifesaver in emergencies or for people with chronic conditions who need regular care while they're traveling.
Yeah.
What other innovative applications are you seeing?
We're also seeing it used for education. There are programs that allow students to go on virtual field trips to remote locations. They can learn from experts all in real time thanks to Starlink Maritime.
It's amazing to think about the educational opportunities this creates for students who might not ever have the chance to experience those places firsthand.
It really shows the power of technology to break down barriers and create new possibilities.
So we've talked about the present, the future. But what about the past? Starlink Maritime didn't just appear out of thin air. It's the result of decades of innovation and advancements in satellite communication.
Right. From those early days of satellite communication, which was so slow, expensive, and unreliable, to the development of low Earth orbit satellites, which completely revolutionized the industry.
And now you have companies like Marine Data Solutions who are taking this technology and tailoring it to meet the specific needs of their clients. It's incredible to see how far we've come.
It really is a testament to human ingenuity and our drive to push the boundaries of what's possible when it comes to connectivity.
And that journey of innovation is definitely still going strong. Who knows what the next big breakthrough in satellite technology will be?
One thing's for sure, the future of connectivity is looking pretty bright.
Now let's bring it back to you, the listener. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the technical details of Starlink Maritime to its broader implications and real-world applications. What are your thoughts on this rapidly changing world of connectivity?
Where do you see the future of Starlink Maritime and similar technologies heading?
And most importantly, how do you see yourself using this new level of connectivity to enhance your own life, your work, and your adventures? We've talked a lot about the potential of Starlink Maritime and the impact it's already having. But I think it's important to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, that idea of expertise. Like, you can have all the coolest tech in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to do you much good.
Exactly. It's like having a super powerful race car, but not knowing how to drive it, you know? And that's where a company like Marine Data Solutions really shines. They get the complexity of this technology, they understand the challenges of being out on the water, and most importantly, they know how to tailor solutions to the specific needs of their clients.
They seem to have a really well-rounded approach.
Yeah.
It's not just about installing the equipment. It's about making sure it all works together seamlessly with all the other systems on board, optimizing the network for the best performance, and providing that ongoing support so you don't get stuck with a dead internet connection in the middle of nowhere.
Right, because imagine being hundreds of miles offshore and suddenly you lose your connection. That's not a situation you want to be in.
Not at all.
That's why having a trusted expert in your corner makes such a big difference. Marine Data Solutions has a whole team of technicians available 24/7 to help with any issues. They're all about making sure their clients stay connected no matter what.
And something else that really stood out to me was their emphasis on customization. They understand that every yacht is different, and a one-size-fits-all solution just won't cut it.
Yeah. Every client has different needs, different usage patterns, different budgets. Marine Data Solutions takes the time to really understand those needs, and then they design a system that fits perfectly.
It's like they're not just selling a product, they're providing a whole experience.
Exactly. And beyond the technical expertise, they get the lifestyle of their clients. These yacht owners are accustomed to a certain level of luxury and convenience.
Right?
So Marine Data Solutions goes above and beyond to make the whole process as smooth and easy as possible, from the first consultation to the ongoing support.
So they're not just buying internet connectivity, they're buying peace of mind, knowing they have a team of experts they can count on.
Exactly.
And that peace of mind is priceless, especially when you're out on the open water. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Starlink Maritime, I think the biggest takeaway is that this is a game-changing technology with the power to change how we live, work, and explore the world.
I completely agree. But it's the human element, the expertise, and the personalized service that companies like Marine Data Solutions bring to the table that really unlocks the full potential of this innovation.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we want to turn it back over to you, the listener. What are your thoughts on this rapidly evolving world of connectivity?
Where do you see the future of Starlink Maritime and similar technologies heading?
And how do you see yourself using this incredible level of connectivity to enhance your own life? Keep exploring, keep imagining, because the future of connectivity is something we're all shaping together. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.